Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope that you and your loved ones are safe, healthy, and doing well during this time. Merry Christmas, season's greetings, and happy holidays. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 of my favorite drinks that I like to make during the holiday Christmas season. I have 3 recipes to share with you, and of course, being the tea lover that I am, all 3 of them do contain tea, and they're also dairy and gluten free, so if you do have any allergies, these recipes will work perfectly for you. Anyway, you guys, without further ado, let's get started in today's video. To start off with, you will need a tea kettle as well as a milk frother, and then you'll also need your choice of milk. So I love almond milk and oat milk, so I definitely recommend those. For tea, I'm using Santa's Secret, Gingerbread Matcha, and Hazelnut Chocolate, all from DAVIDsTEA, but you can find similar versions at your local store. I'm sure there'll be some ones that are similar. Now, I'm also going to be using a tiny bit of sugar, so depending on your choice of sweetener, you can use sugar, honey, agave, there's lots of different options. And another recipe will call for some delicious whipped cream, and I use coconut whipped cream because it's dairy and gluten friendly, and it's so good. Now, for matcha, you'll also need a matcha whisk, a matcha bowl, and there's some little substitutes you can use as well. You might even be able to use your milk frother, so if you don't have that, the milk frother can be an option too. And then you also need your steeper or some type of tea infuser device to steep your tea. And of course, with it being Christmas time and all, you'll want some holiday treats. So I have some gingerbread cookies and some really yummy snowy lemon treats from Wise Bites. I highly recommend them if they're in your area. They're so delicious and I just love them. To start off with, I'm going to share with you the gingerbread matcha latte. It is so delicious. It has lovely little spicy notes to it, and it really does taste like a delicious gingerbread cookie. Like, it's so yummy. And for those of you who aren't sure if you're a big matcha fan or not, I definitely recommend starting off with the flavored matchas. Actually, I technically recommend trying the fruity ones first and then moving into like more of the like gingerbread, vanilla, maple type of flavors, but it's so good. Now, this matcha contains cane sugar, matcha green tea, and natural gingerbread flavoring. And you won't really find that you need to add any additional sweetness to this because for me, the cane sugar is just sweet enough. Now to start off, you want to add 5 teaspoons of the matcha gingerbread powder into your matcha bowl or whatever type of bowl you're using. And then you will need to go ahead and add about a 1/4 cup of warm water. You don't want your water to be too hot or you're going to burn the matcha and it'll have more of a bitter taste. So I recommend around 75 to 85 degrees Celsius or 170, 185 Fahrenheit. And then it's not going to have a bitter taste. It's going to taste really nice and smooth. And now you're going to whisk in kind of like an upside down W or M shape, and you're going to go kind of back and forth motions, occasionally whisking around in a circle just to pick up any loose bits around the bowl. And this is my favorite part. I find it so relaxing just to froth up the matcha, and it just looks so beautiful with that lovely green like color. Now the matcha whisk that I'm using is actually from Paragon tea. It is amazing. It is a bamboo matcha whisk and I am obsessed. I bought 2 and I don't think I even needed to buy the second one because it's lasted me so long. Now for this recipe, I love using my sugar-free almond milk because I don't like my drinks to be too sweet, especially if it's a drink I like to have quite a lot, and I love to have this pretty much every single day in December, and to be honest, if I have it on hand year-round because it's so good. So I use my froth milk and I'm using the Breville Milk Cafe. I do have a YouTube video about that milk frother, so if you do want to know more about it, I'll leave a link down below in the description bar and in this video up at the top of the screen right now for you to find it. So I do pour some of the milk in on the bottom first, then I add my matcha, and then I add a little bit more of the frothy goodness up at the top of the drink. I'm using this really adorable glass that I got from Anthropologie this year. I actually kind of regret not getting 2 because it's so adorable, and if it ever broke, I think I'd be so sad. I just love that it's St. Nicholas. He looks so cute and he has just the cutest little expression. Now, of course, you have to enjoy a gingerbread cookie with this, and I do recommend after you finish making it, make sure to mix in everything, stir it all up, so mix your matcha with the milk, and definitely dip your little gingerbread man into the cup. It tastes so good too, and enjoy. This is one of my favorite beverages. And to be honest, I have it like every morning in December. It is so delicious. Now let's move on to the next drink recipe. If you followed my channel for a couple years, you'll know that my favorite Christmas tea is Santa's Secret. It just tastes like the Christmas holiday season to me. It is so delicious, and I love it. Now, sometimes I'll have it plain, sometimes I'll have it with just some little bit of almond milk, and other times I will have it as a delicious latte, and I do like to make it with oat milk as a latte. So this one I used actually oat milk with it. And Santa's Secret, it has black tea, peppermint, sprinkles shaped like candy canes, which I think is just adorable and so cute. You also have a couple different flavorings as well, and there is a little bit of vanilla flavoring there and a touch of soy. So if you can't have soy, just be careful. There is a little bit of soy in there. Now I go ahead and I get my little steeper out, and I like to put about 2.5-ish scoops of tea, sometimes 3. I really like the flavor, so I'll add like a little bit of extra tea leaves to it. And I do go ahead and add about 8 ounces of water, and I let that steep for about 4 minutes. And as you can see, I'm getting some candy canes out. You'll see in a minute why those are over there. And I just kind of wait for this to brew. And once it's ready, I go ahead and I get the tea. And I do like to stir the leaves just so it can all kind of even out. And then what's nice about the DAVIDsTEA steeper is you just put it on the top of your mug and all the tea goodness will drip out and no leaves will kind of be left over in your mug. Now, this is optional, and this is how I make it for my husband. I do add a little bit of white sugar into the tea, and then I mix it up. Now, this is going to be getting a little bit sweeter in a minute, so you might want to skip this step if you're like not as into super sweet drinks like me. Then I go ahead and I pour in the delicious frothy oatmeal, oat milk and goodness, and oh, it's just so amazing. Now, the one step that I really do love to do is I love to mix in a little candy cane. It really brings out the peppermint flavor even more. And the hot tea will melt the candy cane. So that's why I'm saying that if you're not a super sweet person, don't add the additional white sugar because this will be sweet enough for you. Now, I'm going to bring this over to my husband in a minute, but here's a little look at it. It is so good with the oat milk, and it's so delicious. So I definitely recommend this, and let's move on to my final tea I have to share with you. The final tea I have to share with you is called Hazelnut Chocolate from DAVIDsTEA, and I like to say that I've made it as a gourmet latte, and gourmet only because I add coconut whipped cream up at the top, and it is so delicious. This tea is a pureed tea. It also has apple, coconut peel, artificial chocolate hazelnut flavoring, chocolate curls. You have a little bit of brittle pieces, cocoa pieces, hazelnuts, and a touch of stevia extract. This is so good, especially if you're craving a delicious but slightly healthier hot chocolate and one that's a little less sweet. Now, I like to go ahead and use about 3 to 4 scoops of this tea. It is so yummy, and then I add in again about 8 ounces of water. You might actually, though, if you want a really strong flavor, just add 4 ounces of water, but I always like to have a little bit more water in my tea, so I prefer to go with the 8 ounces. Now, when I'm letting this steep, I steep it for about 4 or 5 minutes, and then I pour it into my cup, and then I go ahead and I add some delicious almond milk. I find the almond milk really complements the hazelnut chocolate flavor, so I put up all that frothy goodness, and then I go ahead with my coconut whipped cream, and I just go for it, you guys. Oh my gosh, so good. And then I also have a little snowflake sugar cube that I like to add on the side because I just think it looks cute and it looks a little pretty. And now it is ready to be enjoyed, and it is so good. This is definitely a really delicious treat to have on Christmas morning, maybe Christmas Eve, or just whenever you need like a nice pick-me-up, something delicious to have. Anyway, you guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed seeing my 3 favorite Christmas tea recipes that I love to have during the holiday Christmas season, and hopefully it gave you some fun ideas too. I definitely recommend trying the coconut whipped cream with gingerbread matcha too. I actually just did that tonight, and it is amazing, so I highly recommend it. I will leave all the items and products I use down below in the description bar of this video in case you'd like to check anything out. Anyway, you guys, I am wishing you a magical, wonderful rest of your day. I hope you have a joyful Christmas or holiday season, depending on what you are celebrating. I wish you all the best, and I hope you continue to stay safe and to stay healthy. Lots of virtual hugs from my house to yours, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now, you guys.